Aries, I could see that you've been holding something back for a while now. And I'm going to tell you that this month, it's all going to burst back onto the scene. Uh, this is your new moon reading for March 1st through the 3rd and leading for the whole month up until your next new moon. And just having a look at the cards here, I would say that there's some unusual situations coming your way. And let me give you a bit of guidance on how to manage those situations and come out on top. So, my name is Finn, and this is Magic 7 Tarot. And I've done a Magic 7 Tarot spread already here for you. So, let's dig right in and we'll have a look at the cards. In the past position, we have the Six of Coins reversed. Now, I use the Brotherhood of Light Tarot cards for my main readings. And the Six of Coins in the past position, it's like the belly of the whale. What's the word? Chthonic, right? So really deep emotions, but kind of held back. So it's like over the last while, you've been holding back all of your really deep emotions. And the thing about repressing things is they come out in emotions come out in odd ways. So maybe you say the wrong thing, or you suddenly explode in front of people, and people think, well, why is he so upset? It's because you're holding back, and maybe you can't find the expression. And so these emotions or thoughts come out in different ways. Um, it also represents some originality, and things not going as you planned. I mean, for all of us, the things don't always go as planned, and so. But I can see in the past position here, Aries, um, it's like you've been in the belly of the whale. You've been held back in some way, and that's created some frustration. But within that as well, I think that you've had some originality, some original ideas on how you'd like things to move, and or how you would how you might fulfill yourself. And so certainly there's another way of reading this. I want to kind of do a general reading here and then go into depth. But there's a lot to do with your emotions, and there's a lot to do with love. And so it's some unusual cards related to love and affections. And so obviously that's not going to apply to everyone. This is a general reading. So let's talk more like give an overview first, and let's go into some of the other emotional elements here. Certainly, you've been involved in planning some sort of social event, or uh, uh, maybe a spring break trip or something like that, and it doesn't seem to be going the way you'd hope. Um, and your emotions, while being repressed, have been kind of dominating the scene. So, in other words, you have these affectional wishes or desires, or a way you'd like your situation to unfold, and and those are very strong ideas that haven't been able to express. So they start to express now into the present. In the present position, we have the Queen of Coins. And so this is whenever there's a court card, it could represent an individual, but it also could represent a part of yourself. And so, as a part of yourself, this is the person that, or as a part of yourself, it's the part of you that has an idea of love, of what you want love to be: beauty, sensuality. Um, it's your concern for other people. Maybe you spend a lot of time fixing situations for other people, and that gives you a lot of meaning. And so, for some people, it's a sacrifice, but for you, in this case, it's like you're putting your concern out for other people, and that gives you some sort of how do you say this? You're balancing the situation for others. Okay. um, uh, uh, and you don't really need other people's approval. Aries is a pretty uh, pioneering sign. And so you know many Aries just are the people that are making new paths forward. And so it doesn't surprise me that you don't need anybody's approval for what you're doing. But certainly, you might have an issue with saying no sometimes. Okay, and so what this is suggesting is a lot of positive energy, balancing act, right, between maybe what you want and what other people want, and certainly coming out of the repression that we've been seeing. It's an expression, and so you're starting to express your notion of beauty, your notion of love, your notion of affection, and how you would like things to proceed. And this is very positive. Whenever we see this card, means there's a positive expression of your emotions and beauty over all things, right? So maybe you're beautifying your environment. Maybe you're uh, in a love relationship, and I'll talk about that after all of the cards have we've gone through all the cards. Generally, I see a lot of affection here, so if you want to be in a love relationship, certainly this is the time to um, go for that. In the future position, we have the youth of cups. So this is a very sensitive person, or a part of yourself that's very sensitive. um, Maybe a part of yourself worries a bit too much, and so as you start to express yourself, we have this repression, now we have expression. Maybe you're worried that the environment isn't going to sustain you, or people will think your ideas aren't aren't worthwhile. And so um, the more you can meditate on what you want, this is certainly deep meditation and mystical insights, psychic, right? Do you have an impression of where you'd like to go? In terms of people, this could be a young person, like a child, or a niece or a nephew, or it could be uh, certainly just someone who has a lot of youthful energy. Um, uh, and again, I'm going to get back into that about this love relationship. If love is on the table, you have the cards for that to sort of play out. It won't be for everybody, but certainly relationships are on the table. Um, Maybe you want to keep your intentions secret moving forward. You don't want to maybe spill all the beans about what you want to see happen. Okay. What part of this that you can control are your thoughts. So you need to make some rules. This is the one of coins in the upright position. And so we have 3 coins already, which is air in the Brotherhood of Light, and 1 cup, which is water, and some more cups to come. So air and water here. You have to think this through and set some rules for yourself. Okay, so that's the part that you can control. Um, there's nothing imposed on you, Aries. I mean, Aries is a hard sign to impose anything on, right? They're going to defend themselves. They know what they believe in. Super positive energy. And so when I see this in the part of this, when I see this card in the part of things that you can control, what are your rules? What are your rules? Okay, so you're not subject to other people's whims. You can set boundaries. You can set rules. What is your policy? Um, and keeping a happy mind about all of this. Certainly, the idea of repression in the past, or things not going as planned, has thwarted you. And so moving forward, you leave that behind. Okay, we're not going to stay in the past. Instead, we're going to have a happy mind, and maybe that requires a budget, right? How much money I can spend, or budgeting your attention or your time, or how much you're going to give to other people. Definitely, that's on the table. A new sense of being. Okay, I mean, this card has lots of different interpretations. It could mean a short journey. If you're a writer at all, it definitely represents writing and written work. um, New beginnings, thoughts and policy. What are your rules for um, this situation? What does the environment give you? So this is card number 5, and we have the Two of Cups reversed. So it could be a revelation, a secret romance revealed. I see these two characters here. Now, are they lovers? It's possible. Um, a sensuous woman and a sensitive man. Um, does one of them represent you, or is it your energy altogether? Possibly. Um, I definitely see here uh, the idea of deciding what a work of love. So the thing that you really want to do, there's a lot of beauty and art and expression represented here. So if you're in the arts at all, wow, this is about bringing those ideas forth. Um, but uh, as an artist myself, and a friend of many artists, I always say that everything in the world is design. you know people people who are very practical, who study accounting, say, why do we need artists? And then they'll sit in a chair and use a desk. Well, the chair was designed by someone, and the desk was designed by someone, and the computer was designed by someone. Not just technicians, but designers. And so, do you have a pet project? Do you have something you want to bring forth to make the world in your image? And if that's the case, this is great energy for doing that. um, Try not to be impulsive, right? Setting your rules is really important. So the Two of Cups can be impulsive. It can be passionate and hard to control. So I see that, knowing that you could set rules or boundaries for yourself is a great card to mitigate that. But the environment is like that. There's a lot of in the world today, there's a lot of emotions going on, right? There's a lot of things happening that are outside of our control. And so, how do we control them, or how do we manage them? Well, we set some rules for ourselves. That's a great way to start. Um, if you are entering a love relationship, or one of these people represents you or your lover, um, to me, it's reciprocated love, but it might take a little bit to get there. So set your boundaries and know that the feelings are there. They might not be expressed in the same timeline that you want to see them, or in the same manner that you would like to see them. I have the moon in Aries, and I know I like things my way, not my way or the highway, but I certainly appreciate things when they turn out the way I want them rather than someone else. And so, what this card is saying is that um, your passions the environment is setting the stage for your passions, and your passions are going to be reciprocated, but it might not take place in the timeline or in the manner that you anticipate or expect. So be patient, set those rules for yourself, and be patient, because uh, it does look uh, like you're able to bring these ideas forth, and that they're received, just not maybe in the way that you wish or expect. What opposes you is the Seven of Cups. So the deep expression of the Seven of Cups, first of all, Seven of Cups is tons of emotion, mysticism. It represents intuition, um, and but the flip side of that is illusion. And so um, uh, I, I would worry that your expectations are getting in the way of reality at some point with this card. And so have a touchstone. In other words, go back. I really love this card here, because to me, this says you can have a handle on what's going on, and you can manage the expectations of the environment without losing control. The Seven of Coins definitively has to do with the truth. Okay. So an unpleasant truth coming forward, or the truth held back. And I see that, this could be some kind of secretive situation. This also is illusion or deception. Um, and so some of you may be experiencing being in a committed relationship, and you're learning something about your partner that isn't very pleasant. And I hope that's not the case for you. Okay. That's never a great situation. Although learning about the truth versus being in an illusion is always better, even though it's painful. So again, you have your rules. Is someone breaking the rules that you set forward for each other and for your mutual relating? If that's the case, um, it's better to know about it. It definitely is better to know about it. It also could represent some change around the home. So usually, some kind of renovation, but it could also mean moving, having to move, or um, it's upright. So I would say more choosing to move, and um, some sort of success with that. Certainly changes around the house, and and if and maybe a difficult emotional conversation could come forward. Again, I'm trying to keep this general, but I see a lot of like love stuff here, and I'm a pragmatic tarot reader. In other words, I'm not just going to tell you things that I think you might find entertaining. In other words, I'm telling you what I feel based on these readings, and some of those things are going to touch your life specifically, and some of them are going to be more metaphoric. Um, Hopefully, when you listen to this, it'll resonate with you on some level, and you'll find some application in your specific context. With thousands of people out there, I can't do a specific reading for everyone. I would, I wouldn't have any time left. Um, Consider this the emotional weather report, as it were. And the final outcome for this is the Ten of Cups reversed. So this is change. There's no doubt about it. Something's changing here. Uh, Out with the old, in with the new. You could be caught in some kind of emotional crossfire. Again, are you learning about some kind of deception, emotional deception? Are you learning that the person you're in a relationship with wants a change or isn't as committed as you think they are? Or are you have you been holding back? Have you been holding back your feelings? And only now you're starting to be honest with yourself about them, and setting some rules about how you want things to work, balancing the needs of others with yourself, while maybe keeping your needs secret or your desires secret. It definitely says that those things are going to start to come out, and something uncommon could happen, something unusual. Unusual is a very broad word, but uh, usually this means an uncommon love affair or a sudden love affair or an uncommon expression of love. So, well, let's say you're in a committed relationship and you take a lover, that would be uncommon. Or maybe you've been single for a long time and now, wow, there are people in my life that I have feelings for. Isn't that exciting? Um, don't let yourself be overwhelmed. Stick to your plan. And it could also mean that, someone from your past comes back into your life. Never, in the Brotherhood of Light, when the cards are reversed, it doesn't mean it's negative. It just means it's slower to come to expression. So sudden might not be as sudden as we expect. Um, Certainly, there's lots of emotion here, and I want you to be cautious of becoming embroiled in some kind of emotional crossfire. Okay. Uh, a very negative expression of this would be revenge. So we don't want to be vengeful towards other people. That's not really keeping ourselves in check. And so if things have to end, they have to end. If a change has to happen, it's going to happen. And so um, I think it's the poet Rilke who said, if people spent as much time with endings as they spend with beginnings, there'd be a lot more peace in the world. And so when things have to end, it's time to let them go. And certainly your feelings are going to change about a situation, or I would say, more specifically about yourself. Okay, let's talk about this as if it's just love. I don't see it as being simply love, but in the past you were holding back your what you wanted. You were repressing what you wished your life would be. And then I have these two people. So I have this a female figure who represents beauty, love, art, luxury. Some fancy lady maybe has entered your life, or you want to be a bit fancier in your life, and that's okay. I took my daughter to Tiffany's in New York in the fall, and perhaps set her expectations a bit high. But she's like that. She loves to feel uh, beauty. She loves makeup and fragrance and all things like that. And so, is that you? Have you been holding that back? And it's time to give yourself that. Or maybe you found someone, met someone uh, that embodies those qualities, and your heart is you're smitten, and that's a wonderful feeling. The most important card here is the rules. Okay, but keep to your own rules, right? Make some rules about this, but it definitely could be a love affair, um, impulsive love affair. Your passions kind of get out of control, and that causes some turmoil and some change. And so I want you to I want you to know that expressing your feelings is a good thing, and that if you've made a commitment to someone, that's an important thing too. Okay, keep those rules in mind. But sometimes love comes in, like a wave, right? And 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 so I don't want you to repress what you want anymore. I want you to go for it. That's a lot. Okay. Aries, whenever I see this much emotion and this kind of turmoil, emotional turmoil is definitively uh, on the table here. And some kind of um, some kind of change or alteration of your living situation, and it's not going to come quickly, although it might reveal itself quickly. So it's going to be a bit slower than you'd hoped. It's very interesting. Now, I do this reading ahead of time, so I have lots of time to meditate, but let me just pull a couple of cards here and let's get some clarification. Um, so, Eternal Spirit, we're going to ask Aries, what archetype? These are the archetype the wild unknown archetype cards, which I love. And so let's see if we can't draw an archetype card that will give some clarification for Aries on what's going on here with their emotions and situation. Now, as I'm these are round cards, and I am not used to shuffling them. They pop out. I know that some readers like the cards that pop out and they use them. I just think it's me talking instead of meditating. So let me focus on this. Aries, Spirit, what can we give Aries to drop in day to day to help them manage this situation, manage the changeable emotions, and give them guidance so they know where to go? Because whenever I see the Ten of Cups, it means something's changing in your feelings. We desire to know the truth. I cut the cards into three piles and I cut them three times. That's my process. Everybody has their own way of doing it, and this is my way. We desire to know the truth, an archetype for Aries. Let's have a look. Comes up. Aries. The offering. What is an offering? Well, when I do a reading, I give a little offering to Spirit because I'm asking for guidance. I'm asking for guidance on your behalf. So it's something we give, right, in order to receive. Um, it's um, it's something maybe we sacrifice. What are you giving up here for what you want? Let me read what it says here in the guidebook. I love these oracle cards because they really do clarify sometimes what's going on in the reading. And, as I said before, it's a general reading, so I can't suggest everyone's going to be in a new love relationship, but you might have a new approach towards love. The offering. Unlike many other cards in the deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. As you may have guessed, it's time for something to be given and given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time in meditation to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. If you'll likely feel attachment and hesitancy, you'll make excuses, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer something to a greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world, but for now, start small, it says. So, generosity, donation, volunteering, giving, giving with expectations, the negative influence, right? Keeping track, that's that revenge, right? There's change in the air for you, Aries, and it's emotional change. It has to do with your home life and it has to do with your feelings, who you love. You were holding yourself back, and now a bunch of new emotions have burst onto the scene. Okay? So, what do you need to give up to follow your path here? Don't give up your rules, the things that you think are important. That's your guide stone, okay? But there's definitely something here to sacrifice. Maybe it's just the idea that one person can't live up to all of your expectations, or uh, maybe that new um, person that's entered your life. And I definitely see people in your life. I see there's sociality, there's maybe new parties or going on a vacation, meeting people on a vacation. All of those things could be, expressions here. And so maybe getting carried away. So maybe just giving up that idea that some one person or some one situation is going to solve it all, because I don't think that's ever the case. Okay? The offering. What are you going to give up, Aries? What are you going to offer to this situation to get what you want, right? Because you deserve what you want, right? Okay. I'm going to do one more card here, and this will be a bit inspiration. This is from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. That's what I do when I do a reading. Do a general reading for myself, and then I pull a couple of other cards. Spirit, what inspiration can we give Aries for this reading to help them find their way? Desire to know the truth. What's best for them, the world, and the universe. Desire to know the truth for Aries. What inspiration can we give them? Aries, if you're enjoying this reading, I'm brand new here. This is only the first Aries reading I've done. Let me just finish doing this and I will do my little plug. I'd appreciate it if you, Aries, desire to know the truth. Inspiration. Thank you, Spirit. Magic 7 Tarot. I appreciate it if you subscribe. I'd love to hear in the comments, what resonated with you. I've been an intuitive counselor for more years than I'm willing to admit here on camera. And lately I was called, maybe because of the things going on in the world, to start to give some guidance to people. And so I'm going to do a new moon reading every month for each sign. So that's when the moon is in your sign, which happens once a month. And then maybe a check in at the full moon when it's in your opposite sign. This is opposite you here. So some kind of opposition. That's an interesting idea. Okay, I hope you like the reading. I hope it helps. Community. So this is this sociality, finding a community. I like that. This is a very, compared to having an unusual love relationship, this is a very balanced card. So let me see what it says here about community. I mean, certainly it's saying to me that you have a community around you, regardless of these changes. There's people around you who care. Support is all around you, even if you're not consciously aware of it. Allow yourself to be supported. Give encouragement to others. This card. The more you allow yourself to be supported, the more your dreams can come true. If you believe that if you have to do it all alone, you will. Your true family is not just blood relations, but sometimes the strongest family ties are friends who know who you are. Sometimes they're your ancestors and soul family. And this card speaks to finding your community and your people. It's a card of remembering that your people are at your side. They're only a thought away. Aries, be careful that you don't get swept away with your emotions. But if it's time to bring them forth, bring them forth. And know that whatever you sacrifice, there's a community waiting for you to support you. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope to see you again. Peace.